just be a little delusional about it all.
And they will hand you a security badge to 30 Rock.
Scanning it.
And I'm sure
I'm
they
coming
would,
in the door.
walking in next to Tina, like, hey, girl,
hey,
I belong here
you want to
too.
put me in there?
Right.
I'd be really good in that sketch.
Exactly.
Just keep me in mind. On your way.
I'm just humming next to her in the elevator.
Unbreakable. Jake, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, Jake.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, but also I'm about to say what everyone in New York is feeling right now.
That it's so cold?
Yes.
Are we allowed to swear on here?
Yes, absolutely.
It's fucking cold.
It is, okay. And I knew I was going to say this. And I was like, I have to think this through because everyone's going to be like, yeah, bro, we've all experienced the cold.
Yeah.
But you don't understand. I'm from Maine.
I'm from Minnesota.
Okay.
It's cold.
Yes. And it is colder here than it is in Maine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's bad. It's also just so different. It's like a completely, like when I think of being cold in Minnesota, I'm like, but I'm in a car in Minnesota.
Correct.
I'm not out selling my wares.
And guess what?
On the street.
And guess what? You can remote start that car.
Exactly. And it's well, you shouldn't remote start it if it's in your garage. But if it's in your garage, it's already warm.
Come on. A little,
girl.
Yeah.
Weather.
Weather.
We're having weather.
And also the thing about it, and we all know this, that live in New York, but if you don't, please sympathize. It's toxic out there. It is becoming a toxic wasteland with the shit and piss. And no one is going to know what that means
it's
if
literally,
you're not in New York.
Yeah, but actually, and it's also like it's so cold that all of the snow that like melted and got slushy, like froze again. And so now there's like mountains of snow to walk over.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, and here's
Love
the
New
thing.
York.
There's so many dogs. I feel like this is my very, very opinion that is near to my heart right now. And it's that if you own a dog, you should be paying a dog tax. To all of the non-dog owners, because your dog's piss is everywhere.
I'll do you one further.
Okay.
If you own a child, you have to pay a child tax.
Correct. And then maybe I'll get up on this subway then.
Yeah.
No, that's getting cut.
That means
just kidding. I stand for the children.
I don't. I'm not standing for your kid.
Really? If they're like a young kid who like can't hold on?
Well, I guess, but oh my God, I'm just like, I'm bundled up. I'm already sweating. It's like, it's already so packed.
Yeah.
And then you have the gall to bring on your fucking quad stroller with your 4 babies.
And then stand there and look at you like, excuse me.
I was here first.
It's true. I saw this morning on my way here. I was walking down the subway stairs. Shit. And guess what someone did? They just put a cone next to it.
Sure. Well, we don't want to have to clean it up.
Right. And I don't know whoever does have to clean it up. Like, God bless you. God bless you. For real.
God.
But I just thought it was so funny that instead of like in that moment cleaning it up, someone went,
here, this'll
cone will do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's so cold in New York that it did probably freeze.
Yeah. Disgusting.
So disgusting. What a topic of conversation
I love
to lead
it.
with. But we're miserable, and hopefully someday we will make it to the other side of this cold weather.
I cannot wait.
Me neither. Jake, what else is up with you? Like, what's going on?
Girl, what is up? I have been trying to... Well, I watched the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And, of course, the Bad Bunny...
Yes.
Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
And I sort of speak Spanish, not fluently, but like
Did you
well
study
enough.
in school? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many years?
4. And my senior year of high school, I took it in the college. So like I left the high school and did like college in the schools, whatever. So I got really good at Spanish and I really liked it, but I never had anyone to speak Spanish with.
Sure.
So it sort of like fell out of my ears. But the Bad Bunny halftime show, I cried.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. Just beautiful.
It was, yeah. Also,
and I was
the
like,
set was gorgeous. Like, just a celebration. I'll throw out Oz. A celebration of like, And I was so moved because I was here. We had a work party and just like, so many Latin people and just like seeing everyone just celebrate at the time that we were in. Hard turn. But just, like, it feels, honestly, I use this word watching it. I was like, my closest friend Jose, I was like, this feels almost like dystopian because like we have what's going on in our streets,
right?
And then also at the same time, the largest watched performance over the history, like the Super Bowl is, millions and millions of people tuning into this. It just feels, which is why, of course, the right was like, we're gonna have our stupid fucking show. What is it?
With Kid Rock or whatever.
The America. Turning Point, yes. And it just
Studio audience.
Yes, we have a mic over here. Zivi's on mic again. Yeah, and did you see clips from it?
Horrible.
It's horrible.
It's hilarious.
I mean, it's funny, and these people think it's like genuinely good, or they'd rather watch this guy be like, I just want to fish and drink my beer, and I like my truck.
And don't forget women. They love women.
And women.
Women.
Just stupid. But enough about
I saw somebody was like, I think that Donald Trump would prefer a Kid Rock performance. And then someone was like, yeah, because his name is Kid Rock. And I was like,
and you're not
just
wrong.
leave it there.
Yep.
Just leave it
and
there.
You're not wrong.
Period.
Yuck. That's what we have to say about that. But also, did you watch, are you a fan of football? Did you like actually watch the game?
I did watch the game. Bro, did you watch the game? Yes, I did. I actually, shockingly, really actually love to watch football.
Really?
Well, one of my best friends, Jonah, is like an actual straight, and he like introduced me. I know. And he like actually took the time to like explain the rules to me. And now I think it's fun to watch. I didn't have like stake in the game at all.
Sure.
Because I'm not from Seattle or New England.
Yes.
But
I am from New England, and so when every year it seemed like I never watched the seasons of football, but I always watched the Super Bowl because it was the event and
the finale,
the community, the family, the food, and every year seemingly the Patriots were there, and I was like, hey,
I guess the Super Bowl is always just the Patriots versus someone else.
I thought.
Can you believe we're talking about sports?
That's just not where I thought
masculine.
we would go. Yeah.
I miss my nails.
Oh, did you have?
I usually have my claws.
I've never done it.
I love them.
And my hands feel
like naked without them.
I want to start just by getting like a clear coat or just.
You should.
Like
You've never even gotten like a manicure?
Not once.
What the hell?
Zivi, have you?
Yeah.
Zivi has. It's so nice. I don't love pedicures because I feel like I'm always just going to kick someone in the face because I'm ticklish.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Manicures, I love them. But especially, I mean, like now, since I haven't had my nails on for so long, and like I have to have them for Chicago.
You have to have nails for Chicago?
Well, yeah. So you either have to have, like I opt to get like the actual acrylic nails, but you have to wear press-on nails if you don't have them.
Okay.
As Mary Sunshine.
Okay.
So
for those of you that don't know, here's the segue. Jayke is Mary Sunshine.
Oh my God. Sometimes.
But you will
for the month of April.
Which the
is
whole month of April.
So exciting. So I'm going to get the nails put back on for that.
Yes.
But I love them. You should, it gives like, I mean, we can talk about everything. But
we went from football to acrylic nails so fast.
Love it.
I love that.
And that's on non-binary T, bitch. That is my actual aura. But no, nails for me give like some sort of like gender euphoria vibes.
I feel like I would be like Cynthia. I'd be insufferable. I'd be walking around like click, 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 click.
Oh, well, I don't know how she does.
Wake up in the morning.
Because I usually have them fairly long, and so I can like clack them, but I don't know. Like I can also like do things, like grab things. I don't know how Cynthia does it with those.
Because also
they're like tongue depressors. Like they're like wooden sticks.
Also on the non-binary T, you did say you work at Craft and Carry, and now I'm imagining you with these nails, acrylic, and pulling down that lager, like ooh, getting that IPA,
slinging IPAs. Yes, and you know what? It's so funny. People actually love them. Like men. I mean, we're in New York City, and I work in a beer bar in Hell's Kitchen, so we're not.
I'm not very different. A different brewery in rural Minnesota,
right? But so often, I would get compliments. Or just comments, and I'm taking them as compliments. But like people would be like, "Wow, like nice nails." I'd be like, "Thank you. You think I'm pretty?" As they're like, "I will have
can I get the IPA?
Yeah. Very that. I'm like, you're welcome.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
I love that. My first job actually was a brewery in Maine.
Oh, nice.
I knew nothing about beer.
I didn't either when I started.
Yeah.
And now I love it, which was like kind of a problem.
What is your go-to? You like hops?
No.
You like hops?
You like hops? You like jazz? No, I actually like, well, I like double IPAs, but they have to be very like fruity, hazy.
Hey, I know that's
fruity.
Right.
I don't like hops.
Do you like a sour?
Yeah, I like some sours, but mainly I'm drinking hazy IPAs now.
Wow.
I know, isn't that wild? Something I thought I would never like. Yeah. When I started working there, they were like, you have to, well, they weren't like, you have to drink, but they were like, you need to get to know the beers. So like test them and taste them, whatever. And so I would like, I only wanted to drink like the ciders and the sours because I was like, that's my tea. Like,
today I'll try the sour. They're like, you've had that for the last
you've had
3 weeks. You do a lot of tasting of that. You don't know what that it tastes like yet?
I know, but now I love it. So growth. That's on growth.
And that's on growth.
Can you believe? Beer. Isn't it wild though that like something that could be considered so like mundane or like something that wouldn't have crossed my path now just has because I needed a job. And now I'm like, okay, now I know a lot about beer. Like that's so random. Like if you had asked me 3 years ago, if I knew anything about beer, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I'm gay. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I don't believe that's for me.
I don't think that's quite my tempo.
Yeah. But I'll take a Cosmo.
But do you have a vodka soda or
with a Grand?
Oh my God. The way that these homosexuals in Hell's Kitchen stumble into.
I don't know what that is or who was there.
Do you not?
No. What is that like?
Who do you hang out with? Not the gays of Hell's Kitchen?
No, never been there.
Never heard of it? Okay, well, let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
The beer bar does not have liquor. And so these gays come stumbling in from next door, Atlas Social Club. Shout out. Love them. Love their security guy, Raymond Door. And they come in, can I have vodka soda? I'm so sorry. No. Brian, you can't have a vodka soda. You can have a lager or you can get out of here.
When they hear the news that the only thing on your menu is beer?
It's
do you have
like
wine?
We have wine in the fridge, yes. Individual little like cute
cans?
Yeah. Or little glass bottles. Okay. So some opt for that. Most of the time it's like a cartoonish like cloud appears and then they're just gone. Exactly. Like Roadrunner, they're out of there.
Oh, that's funny.
Running back to Atlas.
You mentioned being from the Midwest.
Yeah.
I have never been.
Okay.
I'm from Maine.
Yeah.
So if I like what was it like growing up in the Midwest? There's like Midwestern isms that I like. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, tell me more about this.
I loved the Midwest. I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas, and then I moved to Minnesota when I was 12.
Okay.
So I was always like in like little like pockets of blue state growing up. Like Lawrence, Kansas is like where the university is. It's very liberal.
Yeah.
It's like the little blue dot in like a big red rectangle because it's where the people are. But yeah, so like Kansas City, like I grew up doing shows in Kansas City, and then like when I moved to Minnesota, there was just so much art all around. So it's like shockingly open and like diverse. I mean, obviously, again, to like swing the pendulum back to what we were talking about earlier with like everything that's happening in Minnesota right now, it's crazy. And of course, like that's famously where George Floyd was murdered, and I was there through all of that and the pandemic and everything. So it's a strange, like people think of it as like, you know, the flyover states or whatever, but like so much happens there, like that like sort of ripples outward, I think. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I've visited California many, many times. I now have lived in New York for 6-7 years, but a lot happens in the Midwest and like all the like in between states where you're like, what? You're from Wyoming? Like, okay, what happens there? But like art does happen. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I mean, having the access to it or just the city to like get into Kansas City.
Love.
Yeah.
I fucking love
What is like
Kansas
one
City.
thing that you miss? Like, or if there was like.
I miss driving. I really do love.
Oh my gosh.
To drive.
I walked by. There's a McDonald's right off the train. And I walked by it the other night and someone was in the drive-thru with their music blasting. And I almost shed a tear.
I know.
Because I was like, I'm going to start getting emotional.
The things that like you just don't even realize you're going without.
Yeah. Like,
did you
going through the drive-thru? Huh?
Did they have Sonic in Maine?
Never had Sonic once.
Oh my God.
So I'm missing that.
So average, but you have to get it. Like, it's so good. Anyone who was like trying it for the first time, I would like force them to try it. And they're like, this is very average. Popcorn chicken and onion rings. And
I've never been a fan of onion rings.
That's okay. They have tater tots.
I'm into that.
And I want a ginormous, I think they call it Route 66 or something. Cranberry limeade with the pellet ice. Like oh my God.
I'm familiar.
Talk about Midwest. That's like, in my brain, that is like the quintessential.
Okay.
Like
when we visit.
Absolutely. When we're on a drive and we need to go to the drive-thru.
To Minnesota.
Yeah, that is something for sure that I miss about the Midwest, is just like the culture's different. Like driving around, versus like I am my own vehicle in this stupid town or I have to rely on the subway.
I'm going to be honest. It's one of my biggest pet peeves and like qualms about the city is like on the subway sharing your space with like even just coming here this morning with my 2 bags, I just felt, and I was in the way.
Yeah.
And people are bumping into me. I'm bumping into people.
Of course.
And it's like, well, yes, this is like the busiest time of day naturally because everyone is going to work at the same time. But I hate that feeling of always feeling like I'm in the way.
Absolutely. Well, there's also, I think people who don't live in a city like New York don't understand that like you do not have time by yourself.
No.
I mean, like, even if like the only way I would imagine is like if you lived alone, like in an apartment by yourself.
Then you're sharing walls.
You're sharing walls. Like there's never a time where you're just completely by yourself, which can be comforting because, when I tell people from the Midwest that I live in New York, they're like, oh my God, isn't it so dangerous? Aren't you so scared? And I'm like, no, girl, there is someone around at all times. And so on the flip side of it, it can get tedious sometimes where I'm like, I love my roommates. I love living in the city, but I am never by myself.
Yeah, I don't feel like reflecting on that, I feel like I should do some more rituals, like alone rituals. Like either it's just meditation or because even that is like you're going to group classes.
Right.
Which is lovely. I love that sense of community, but yeah, it's
leave me alone.
You have to do an effort to like have individual time just by yourself.
Even if I'm like, let me just go for a walk, I'm gonna encounter hundreds of people in the park or on the sidewalks. I'm like, there's never a time where you can just like be by yourself.
Yeah, I want that with nature. Just me.
Birds. Well, because even like I think about like I was just the birds. The bees.
What I'm saying is I want a house upstate.
Well, that part. And I like literally I was just talking with one of my longest friends, Zoe, who she and we grew up together in Lawrence. And she is 9 months pregnant with her first baby. I'm so excited for her. And we were talking about how different our lives are. And I was like, yeah, you have a house that you are alone in, like you and your husband, that's like your place. And then like you get in your car and you guys are alone in your car together going places. I'm like, that's just so different than my entire existence.
Yeah. And it's so interesting to me how being from a small town, with not even knowing about, I had this idea of New York City, but not knowing what it was or what it's like. And then seeing the life for you in that place in Minnesota or Maine and like envisioning the house, the dog or the cat and the family or whatever your goals are. And then coming to New York and analyzing how that has shifted so much.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like financially raising a family, not that I've ever wanted kids.
No.
As we have talked about. You might have inferred from our earlier conversation.
Well, but that is the gag. I mean, I think I was lucky because my parents recognized in me from a very young age that I was destined to live in a city. So they were like, not, like there wasn't any like, so when you graduate college, then you'll move back to Minnesota and have a house and whatever, like that. Or very early on, I was encouraged to actually think about theater and art as a career. And so that just sort of hand in hand was, I'm not going to stay and buy a house and have a family. Like I have things to go and do.
What age? I'm so curious.
I did my first show when I was 9.
So at 9 you were like,
well,
the stage, I'm bi.
No, the stage, I'm bi.
In quote.
I wish I was bi. I wish I wanted to. Anyway.
No, get into it.
No, I'm just so gay and only gay.
Sure.
But I love women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so when I was 9, I did my first show, but that was like a community theater production. And then I remember when I got paid for the first time as an actor, as a child, that's when I was like, oh, people do this. Like, I think I was 11 and I got paid $1,000 a week to do a show. And I was like, $1,000?
That is like
when you're 11 years old. Yes.
That is more than
no, I know.
A lot of contracts in 2026. And
I
shame
know.
on you. Shame on you.
But I couldn't
producers.
even fathom. Like I was like, holy shit. I'm saving my family from poverty. I was like, I'm lifting us up out of our slums.
I single-handedly
I have to provide for this family. Yeah. So stupid.
But that's when I was mom who works two jobs,
exactly.
Who loves her parents.
Yes. So yeah, that like just from then on, I was like, oh, I'm not ever coming back here. I'm doing, which is funny because that's like where
that's so wild to me. It feels like
teeth.
That's the experience for some people, but I think a lot of people, like, you're not being paid for so long.
Right.
And then even after you go to school and have a education,
yes.
in which in a normal field would mean that, okay, you have gained more skills and experience, and so now your time is of greater value.
Right.
That is just not the case in this industry.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because I've spoken to a couple people about this, like friends of mine who, like one of my best friends, Leslie, just did the revival of Funny Girl. Mm-hmm. And so we were in tandem, like I was doing Chicago and she was doing Funny Girl. And so we were sort of like reflecting on like, wow, we did it. We did what we set out to do. We were on Broadway at the same time. But thinking back, I was like, I'm so lucky that I had the experience of being a child actor, and so did Leslie, and being not only just being paid, but like being treated like a professional from when I was that little, and being expected to, behave in a certain way and be prepared and be on time and all of it. That sense of, responsibility informed everything for me, not just now, but like going into college programs and stuff. And I was like looking around, and not to say that I like knew more than others, but I definitely felt confident in what I knew. And there were people who didn't. Like there were people who had never done a professional show before, their freshman year of college, being like auditioning for summer stocks that summer and everything. And I was like, wow, it's just, I feel lucky and grateful to have gotten to do that and worked with really big people when I was really little. Mm-hmm. And my parents were like, yeah, do it.
But it's not until you have that experience that you're like, even know sometimes how to be treated or what it could look like in a really professional theater, treating you as like a professional.
Totally.
If you haven't experienced that, you just don't know. So you kind of like put up with a lot of things. And I feel like I felt so bad. There was one year I was brought into this summer stock theater. I'm not going to name names, but brought into this summer stock theater.
Read them.
To just fill out like the ensemble.
Sure.
And so I wasn't an intern, but watching how the interns like wake up, rehearse, show. Now they're changing.
Another club. Bus.
They're changing the set. They're like, they're tearing it down. They're putting it up.
And don't you get it twisted, mama. I have done that too.
Yes.
That's where the shift also happened, where I was like, wait, I was 11 being paid this amount of money in Kansas City. And then I'm 22 working at upstate, the one, doing 9 shows in 12 weeks.
But that is what it
making $250
sometimes.
A week.
But that's just
before
because,
taxes.
One more time.
$250 a week.
But that is like the value of that. And I think people would say, and as producers, like, well, yeah, but you're getting like 9 shows. You're getting to like make connections and meet people. And like, there's a lot of value in that. And there is. And also when you're young, it's easier to be like, this is like summer camp.
This is easy.
I'm just having fun.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But then like after you're on the other side of that and reflecting on it and being like, well, how much money did I really make you guys in ticket sales? And like, maybe the reality is like, no, there just isn't the money. And that just sucks. Because sometimes in theater, there just isn't the money.
And that's true on every level.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how high you go, there ain't no money. Not in the theater.
You know, and that has come up too many times in the show, which makes me really sad for the people. But that's why it's kind of, it's important to also, you know, finances have come up so much in this show, but it's like, it may be boring to people, you might not want to hear it, but it is our reality. And like so much of our life and our day to day is a direct result of us trying to survive in the city to be able to pursue the art at the level that we want to pursue it at.
Totally.
I just felt like for the people that are just listening, I was just watch YouTube. I can't explain it.
For the people just listening, just watch, okay?
Or listen then watch.
Like and subscribe.
I'll do that thing. There's the plugin, the ads.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like our day to day, and so it's important to like if you can also find a way to fuel yourself artistically and also your pockets. Yes. I don't have the answers for that because
I wish I knew.
Yeah, me too. If you're out there and you got a lot of money, we got some.
Let me know.
Right here you can
I'm willing to do things. Ooh.
Yeah, me too.
For money, I mean.
Yeah.
For pay. I worked
just like phrasing it like that is.
I'm willing to do things. Title of the episode for pay.
The episode. Jayke Workman is willing to do things for pay.
There's not a lie. Where's the lie?
No.
I worked a season at SNL.
Oh no way!
And I did hair for them.
Work.
I was horrible at the job, but. This is just another example of like, we do what we have to do to make money. And this opportunity presented itself. My darling angel, Brittany Hartman, who is the head of the wig shop at SNL, had been my wig soup when I did shows in Aspen, Colorado. And so when we got back to New York, I texted her and I was like, hey, if you ever need someone in your studio, like, let me know. And I meant like, I will be your little bitch boy and get you coffee and file your paperwork while you do the fancy SNL stuff. Yes. And Brittany was so kind and so lovely and was like, awesome. Like, when do you want to start learning how to make wigs? And I was like, oh, okay. Work. Mm-hmm. And then I got to do that. And it was so cool. I mean, I was very bad at it.
Did you get good?
No. Well, it's just like, that was the only experience that I had. And I don't know if you know anything about like ventilating hair, but like it's quite literally like at SNL, but everywhere. When you ventilate a full lace wig, you're taking a teeny tiny hook tool and individual hairs and tying the hair into a knot in the lace. So like one by one hair at a time. And I was so slow at it because it was my first time ever doing it. And these women, there were these 2 iconic women who had been there for like 20 years, and they would sit in the corner and their hands would just fly. Like they could just do it. They were like talking to each other, not even looking half the time. And then, you know, I was horrible. I don't know what, this was like a random tangential story, but
no, I'm intrigued.
But I made money from it. And so that's why I was like, okay, well, cool. Like something that I didn't even know was an option or like a skill that you could learn, like fell into my lap. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll try.
There's something, you know, good and bad about that. Exciting that like, opportunities, because everything is so up in the air with us, you have those experiences where like, I did a season at SNL or whatever. It's and the normal someone with a regular job or back from Minnesota or Maine would be like, what? Like that's crazy. Right. That's so cool. And you're learning like a new skill, talking to new people. It's just like but the flip side of that is also we have such a lack of routine.
Such a lack of routine.
I want my Virgo.
Yeah.
What
Earth signs.
Earth. Yeah. We're both Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Earth. When's your birthday?
May 15th.
Soon.
Yes.
And you
I
will
guess
be
it is
22.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
No, I'll be 26.
Oh my God, you're so young.
Mid-20s. Yes.
Mid-20s. I'm going to be 30.
Now I'm
September.
How do you feel?
So ready to be 30. Fuck 29. I'm over it.
Okay.
I would rather, because 30 is like real. Mm-hmm. And 29 is like, I don't know anything. Mm-hmm. And I know that magically I'm going to know everything the day I turn 30. It's going to just be better.
That is the day that the frontal lobe
is fully formed. Yes.
Not a day sooner.
No, I'm so excited to be in my 30s. I'm just like, it's like a different era, it feels. Mm-hmm. But I'm also not ageist. I'm not the type to be like, you're so young.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, I also feel like it's more of a film thing. Also on the flip side, for people to be like, oh, I'm not old. I'm
not old.
I'm young.
What do you mean?
I'm
young and hip.
It's like, or we can just age because it's inevitable. We're all gonna do it.
But isn't it wild though? Because like, sorry, now I'm just thinking about all the like random jobs that I've had in this town. But
sure. What's the craziest one? Tell me.
It's so wild that like I was able to bamboozle my way into the mega machine of NBC.
Well, the thing is, like, so much people don't realize it's all
fake.
Not always, but most of the time people are just faking it until they make it.
Yes.
You will learn. If you are competent and a nice person and you have a little bit of delusion, which is what I'm learning to get at my age of 26.
Yeah.
25, soon to be 26. Just be a little delusional about it all.
And they will hand you a security badge to 30 Rock.
Scanning it.
And I surely
I'm coming in the door.
Walking in next to Tina, like, hey, girl.
Hey.
I belong here,
you want to put me in there?
Right.
I'd be really good in that sketch.
Exactly.
Just keep me in mind. On your way.
Just humming next to her in the elevator.
Unbreakable.
Not that one. Oh, God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone's just faking it till you make it, and just be a little delusional. That's my so-true of the day. Hey, I have a segment for you. I want to do it now.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
what is it?
I have one structured thing on this podcast so far.
Oh my God.
Can I get the menu theme song that we discovered last week, 2 weeks ago?
Do. Order from the menu.
Yes! Live vocals in the studio today.
You said bass. Why do you change the key every time?
From the menu.
I don't have privilege, man. You can't expect that from me.
Yes. Oh my God, did you see me tuck my hair?
I saw it at the corner of my eye. I said, you better work.
Oh, I'm ready. Okay.
With the show being called I'm a Fan, it is just 10 random things that I have thought of. Zivi helped me with a couple. And you're just going to tell me if you're a fan of it or not.
Love that.
And then we're going to get into if I have follow-up questions.
Okay, great.
about some of them.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Is this rapid fire? Do I need to be like ready?
At first the segment was rapid fire, and then I had follow-up questions, and then we kept going to the end and then going back. And I was like, no, I'm just going to ask you.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah. Don't think too much. Don't overthink. Obstacle courses.
Fan.
Yes. We needed more adult obstacle courses.
I absolutely agree.
Yes. Witchcraft.
Not a fan.
Okay. I'll ask a follow-up question later. Secrets.
Fan.
Fan of secrets. Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
I can't. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Fan.
That sounded a little indifferent.
Yeah, indifferent, I would say.
Really?
But I'm not a fan.
Have you watched them in the last few years?
No.
Okay, you should check it out because they hold up.
Okay.
They hold up. The acting, the story, the world, the universe, the CGI.
Kira's mouth acting.
Yes.
All of it.
And the squid tentacles.
Yeah.
It all holds up. Mm-hmm. Massages.
Fan.
Really?
Yeah.
We did talk about this with the pedicure. You don't mind people touching your back, I guess, or wherever they're massaging?
No. In fact, especially, I don't even know if we were talking about it we were recording when we talked about it, but I have like the herniated disc in my back. Yes. And so that's been like a whole thing to navigate. But I love a massage. I also love to give massages. But like, I don't know. That is a slippery slope to go down in terms of talking about giving massages. But I love, like, I'm a very physical, touchy person.
Okay.
So I really like,
I'm
even
not.
like
I'm trying
when
to get better
friends
at
are
that.
just like, like rub your arm or something. Like, I love that.
I'm trying to get better at that physical touch.
That's why you ran away from me earlier. I went to touch his shoulder and
faster.
Again,
I have this reflex. It's just I'm fast. I got it. Oh, but no, I want to be better at it. Like giving physical touch, and it also like maybe I don't know. I'm not analyzing it. We're moving on. Squidward.
Not a fan.
Wait, why?
I don't love SpongeBob.
That's why I sympathize with Squidward.
Oh, because he hates SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand the question now.
I changed the perspective.
Maybe a little bit, yes. I guess I do align. My views about the character of SpongeBob are aligned with those of Squidward. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That is the perspective I had when writing it. Tattoos.
Fan.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I have a bunch.
What's your favorite tattoo?
My bee on my chest.
Ooh.
I got her in Maui.
Uh-huh.
And I also have a moon here.
Cute.
I have my mom's handwriting. Magnolia. This is a flamingo. Don't ask me why. Just love them.
Sure.
I have Beyonce on this thigh, and I have my sister on this thigh.
You have a lot.
I have a lot. And I want so many more.
Really? I have a single one.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you not want them? Oh, you do? Okay.
I remember in church, but also maybe.
Say no more. We're going to stop right there. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you.
And thank you. Tune in next week.
Well, I remember in church.
Well, I would always sit in the pews and like be on Pinterest looking at like tattoos. I'm not sure part of it was like a rebellion phase. I went through the longest rebellion phase.
That's hot.
You put me in church 3 times a week, you best believe I'm going to be up to no good doing something.
Who wants to do that?
Baby, twice on Sundays. Twice.
What?
So that's basically the whole day.
Twice on Sundays? What's different about the first one that's the second one?
Well, you know.
More to learn about the Lord, I guess.
Well, in the morning, you know, you had Sunday school in the morning. Depending on your age, and that was structured different. And then you always had the main service. We only did one. I know some churches do like an earlier service and a later. No, we always did one. And I think the young kids would go down during that and then go home, eat lunch, go back in the late afternoon for, of course, youth group.
Sure.
Yes. And then the adults sat upstairs.
As my eyes just glaze over. I'm literally like, I can't imagine.
It was as boring as you think. I mean,
you were scrolling Pinterest,
Baptist,
of course.
Yeah, we were a Baptist church, but we were northern Maine, central Maine Baptist church. And so it was so old and so white and just boring. I'm sorry. Y'all got to, if you're going to keep the youth, they're not listening to this podcast.
You guys, if you want to engage the youth,
you at least have to have some good music.
Yeah.
And eventually they got there with the praise team, but yeah, no. Anyways, moving on.
Love it.
This was Zivi's etymology.
Like the origin of words?
Yeah.
Fan.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at it, I don't think. Or like I didn't ever take like Latin.
Yeah.
But I like knowing like roots of words because I can infer what other words mean if I don't know them based on that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Wit is so based in words and how you use them and relate. And I also want to get better. So now we're going to have 2 things. We'll be PT buddies.
Okay.
And etymology buddies.
Great. I'll be doing my PT. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm like, spell this. Where does this come from?
No, I think part of it was also I was so bad at spelling growing up. And so I was just like, well, this isn't for me.
I do love words, like you said, like when it comes down to like wit. Like I'm always impressed by people whose vocabulary is just so expansive. Like I think that's really cool.
And my good friend Jose, he's so witty, was on the show. Check out that episode. I'm getting better at plugging. Check out that episode. But Jose was like, English is not Jose's first language. Spanish is. And Jose was like, you think I'm good in English? Just baby, know that in Spanish, which I recently been like, I think I really want to just learn Spanish to learn another language, but also to be able to like joke with him and like
that's so cute.
I'm gonna make an effort this year.
Me encanta español.
See, okay, cow tipping.
Not a fan.
Okay, human tipping, and now I have to explain.
Big fan.
Wait.
I'm kidding. I don't know what that is.
I was like, you know?
No.
Have you ever? You go to a field. Well, it doesn't have to be a field, but better if it's a field. Stare up at the star. Spin, right?
Okay.
You're a little dizzy. Someone takes a flashlight. You stop spinning, shine it right in your eyeballs. Never did this?
This sounds like torture. What are you talking about? Never did this? Last Tuesday.
It kind of is. But also, it does this thing to your brain that, like, your equilibrium is so, like, you don't know up from down or left or right.
Wait, so then does someone shove you over?
No, you can't. It's like the fight to stand up.
I have never done that.
And no, the people that know will know.
But why is it called human tipping?
I just named it that because I didn't know what it's called. I think it's called like star tipping, I think is actually what it's called.
Okay.
I can't explain it or what it does to your brain.
Wow, that's
but
so interesting.
Try.
I've never heard.
If you're ever like, oh, we're in a cute little grass field and you feel like falling over won't hurt your body too much.
Great.
Try it.
Perfect. Will do.
The last thing on the list, which is now a reoccurring thing on the thing, and we just kind of talked about it, was God.
God.
What's going on with God for you or the universe? You don't necessarily need to call it God.
I don't believe in God, but I also don't negate why people would, in the same way that I don't believe in ghosts, but I've never had an experience with a ghost, you know? So like when people are like dead set, they're like, I have seen a ghost. I'm like, work. I haven't. So I don't really, prescribe to that.
Sure.
Prescribe, subscribe.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, but I had a really lucky upbringing where my mom was an atheist and my dad was very Christian. And so they were both very hands off when it came to that. So I was never like, I've been to church many times, all of the things, but yeah, for me, it's not something I really think about.
It always seems like the approach, seemingly, with my experience, is like the hands-off approach, or like you figure it out. Like I show you gently, would have maybe worked a little bit more effectively on myself. Sure. I don't think I would have had that strong aversion. Yeah. But that's just children in general. When your parents are like, you're going to do this thing and you're going to do it sometimes 3 times a week or whatever it is. It's like
the indoctrination of it. Yeah. Just because, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Tell me, how are you in that right now in your life? If someone tells you like, do this, do you have an aversion?
Right. Of course.
Yes.
Well, it's funny too, because I'm not a woo-woo person. Not that
you're very grounded.
I am very grounded, I like to think, but I'm not afraid of things that seem to afflict a lot of people. Like the fear of death. Like I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I have lots of things I want to do before, but I'm not thinking like, oh my God, I hope they don't all forget about me when I die, or like that there needs to be like a heaven or something after. So I don't really, think about that much.
My religion, Christianity, right? The fear in death is hell, right? They instill this fear like so strongly that it's like, well, if you're not doing this thing, not only are you just not going to be here, you're going to burn in a lake of fire forever.
Well, and that's
eternity.
Where I'm like, no, I'm not a fan of God.
Whoa.
If that's what God is, I'm certainly not a fan.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of you heard it here first. I'm not a fan of hell.
I'm going to go on record and say I'm not a fan of hell.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that
but
one.
I also don't believe in it. So that's where I'm like...
But I'm like, I'd also like to pass on that for everyone. But then I'm also like, there are really bad people
who deserve to go to hell.
I feel like, spend a few centuries in that. In
well,
hell.
What do you think is worse? Because I'm such a true crime whore.
Sure.
What's better or worse, I guess? Like, if someone... for example, is like a murderer and they're on death row, is it better to execute them more effective, in terms of like punishment or life in prison? Because for me, life in prison that's hell.
Yeah. Ooh, we're getting into the very controversial topic of the death penalty.
Well, I guess in more of like an outer, or like, I don't know.
It's
because also so many people, I don't know why I just decided that this is now a true crime prison podcast, but so many people who go through the justice system and come out the other side, if they are so fortunate to have turned to God at some point in their, time in prison.
But I feel like if all you have is like your solitary existence, then you need something outside of yourself to have that hope that this is getting serious.
Yeah.
To have that hope of something after this life punishment.
Right.
To me, it almost feels like a brain survival instinct kicking in.
Right.
To be like, well, if this is what my reality will be, if you've done such a heinous crime to put you in prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Then naturally, oh my God, I would be creating fantasies,
absolutely,
in my head to survive that.
And yes, of course, that I feel lucky that I enter into situations where I have to feel those like survival instincts kick in. But it sounds so stupid, but like people have asked me about like religion and God before. And I'm always like, honestly, like friendship to me is like the closest thing there is to God, to me. Mm-hmm. Like if I need something, I'm not necessarily like asking the universe or like praying to God, because I can turn to people in my life who I love so dearly, and they can offer me things, in real time. Like I don't,
But I would say what I've heard from very religious people, my mom, would be like the needs for her in so many seasons of her life have been met by God. Or this thing outside of herself. But it's like, oh, interesting.
But I'm also like, I would want to ask her, like, do you think it's God, or are you actively seeking things and manifesting things and doing things?
That's what I think it is. I think for Christians, the name of that is God. I think for other religions, there's other names for that. Mm-hmm. And Aiden talked a lot about this. He's like, yeah, we put a blanket over it and you call it that thing, mm-hmm. but it's the general shape of it. And I think what I'm learning, especially this past year for me, has been like, I guess the last few years is like, you will find what you seek out.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for good, you will see and find good. Mm-hmm. Now, not always. There's outside things that come into your life, but like this is a long life, right? So over time.
Well, like when people are so shocked that they've won awards or something, and they're like, I just have to thank God. I'm like, but wait, what do you mean you're shocked? You made the movie and you campaigned for your Oscar. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, everyone has their own personal like thing. And for some people, I just think that like, yeah, calling it God. But the thing that I struggle with is like, yeah, there's certain things in like the Christian Bible that I'm like, oh, that was such a turnoff for me. Obviously being queer and like my church doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on like how horrible gay people, not horrible they are, just like the thing that they,
chose to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just language that is so just, yeah. Anyways, so that I think also just turned me so against it as a whole. And it's taken me a long time to be like, well, actually, I think this was like weaponized by these people in a way that really affected me. But yet, like, there's so much good in it as well. And I can actually just like hear the good and take the things with me that feel right and feel good and not necessarily things that don't challenge me, because I think we all should be challenged. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, it's funny too. Sorry, am I just absolutely rambling?
No, that's what this show is. And I want this show to every guest to feel like we talk about whatever. But also, I did make it a point now to bring up God. And the God conversation is not a small one. But it's what I care about.
Yes. And also like I think of it, I mean, it's so stupid to like bring it back to like Wicked, but like
Wicked, we're releasing a song.
We're singing a song.
Us. Yes, check out that video.
And there's a lot. Oh, obviously, it's like a very famous line from the show where someone asks Glinda, "Why does wickedness happen?" Mm-hmm. And it's so much to me that like level of like talking about God. It's like some people who identify as Christian or whatever or believe in God need it as a way to like know answers, like a means to an end of like you can explain things away. And I think for me, I'm really okay with not knowing things. like about what happens when you die? I don't know. Nobody does. Mm-hmm. So,
but that's the fight against the natural human brain, because our instinct is to have the answers.
Sure.
We want to know.
Sure. Of course. I would love to know, but I don't, you know? And like, I don't.
And we won't.
Yeah. So maybe there's something there too of just like being able to ask questions and get like solid answers out of it. Because for me, I'm like, I don't know. Or like, you know, the universe. I love thinking about the universe because it frightens me so much. But I'm also like, well, I'm just one teeny tiny little rice speck. So what is my pondering going to really do about it?
Sure. I heard on So True with Caleb Harrod, another podcast. Someone explained it as, me too. So good. Someone explained it as like, or maybe Caleb was saying like, it'd be nice if it was like, taking your shoes off, like after a long day, or like lying down, or just like, you know, closing the door on that, you know, the book.
Death and dying. Yeah.
As if it's like, because I feel like also naturally, as you get older, life just gets harder, like for you physically.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of this, I would like, and I hope to be like, my body has served me well, and baby, let's rest.
Yeah, baby, let's lie down.
I need a rest.
That part. Do you watch, speaking of another podcast, do you watch Amy Poehler's podcast?
I don't, but I've seen many clips from it.
Yeah. She's so great. She's such a great host, but also she just had Carol Burnett on. And she's like 92.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
She looks
But she's
great.
so cognizant, like with it.
Yeah. That's how I hope to be.
I know, me too.
Like, talk about big fears.
Let my body be,
It's like, for me, it's like Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And dementia.
I just want to be able to move too.
So we'll do a brain. We're going to do PT.
Mondays is PT. Tuesdays, etymology. Wednesdays,
brain games.
Oh my God. Do you play brain games?
No, what is that?
Like
just like
the New York Times
puzzles?
games.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Maybe I should.
You should. It's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll get on it. But I wanted to ask you, because we just mentioned another podcast. And you have your own podcast.
I do.
Called Oh My Pod, you guys. So please go check out Jake's show.
Please do.
I'm curious, you've done over 100 episodes?
Yes. 122 episodes.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy.
Like they say with the podcasting of it all, like starting is the first hurdle, but then like doing it consistently is like such a hurdle.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, as someone who's a new podcaster, what wisdom would you like impart? Is there like, what wisdom would you impart?
I don't know. I mean, our formats are a little different, just in terms of like being able to talk about anything, which I love that about your show. And I think I've done an okay job with not like completely cornering myself with what I can talk about with guests, because I don't just have performers on. I've had designers and drag queens and, you know, everything in between, which is really fun. But typically we're only talking about work, art, and theater. So I'm glad that you haven't like painted yourself into a corner. But I also think just like knowing that if someone agreed to come on your podcast, they probably want to talk to you. Yeah. And probably are as equally comfortable talking about themselves and their own stories. So like, don't shy away from like asking big questions of people that you might be frightened of. Like it sounds so silly, but like I've had some really, really big names on the pod, people who are big to me, like people who I've looked up to and people of Tony's and, you know, all of it. And like, I've found that like talking to those people is just as like lovely and endearing as talking to anyone else, you know, like you don't have to make it like this big, huge thing in your brain, or at least that's what I have to tell myself, or I did when I was starting out. Cause like my very first guest was Beth Malone. Yeah. And I adore her, and we had worked together very briefly in Colorado, so I knew her. But to ask her, you know, like, so tell me about your like Tony's, like that's crazy. I was like so nervous, and I didn't know what I was doing because it was the very first one. But then I just got the hang of it, and then, you know, by the end, by now, I've talked to so many people about so many different things that like it doesn't really faze me anymore.
Yeah.
When they like sign, because either like we do it in person or they like sign on to the little video chat, and it's like,
yeah,
there they are.
Yeah,
that's them.
Yeah, it's the like the mysticism of like, putting this person on like some type of pedestal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like I do get starstruck. Like people are like, oh yeah, that doesn't really happen to me. No, it happens to me. It happens to me. I see someone, I'm like, oh, this person who I also growing up in like the era of like YouTube and just consuming so much online. You build this idea or this picture of someone, and then when you finally see them in person, to me, like when I saw Audra in Gypsy.
Oh, well, of course.
I was just like, you're like
real
in front of me. And to me, it does this, I don't know what's going on in my brain, but it is kind of jarring.
I feel that. I mean, I don't get starstruck. I think because, well, one of my best friends in the world has been an actor on TV and film for a long time. And so through her, we would just go to events and premieres and whatever. And so I've met tons of people who I never anticipated meeting. And so I sort of got a little just used to being like, okay, cool. Nice to meet you. And then like freaking out later with Kat, like once we were home.
Right.
But I do have this problem where, and it doesn't happen on the podcast because I know who I'm having on. But if I see a celebrity in public, I can't not name them or like say something that like place them in my brain. So like one time I was walking in Midtown and I passed this gorgeous man and I was like, who is that? I know Matt. And he turned around and he's like, yeah, it's Matt Bomer.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no, I don't know you. Like we're not friends, but I fully like called to him from down the street, like an old pal.
Yeah.
Maddie?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. Like, or I saw Willem Dafoe at the airport once. And he walked past me and I just went, the lighthouse. For whatever, not even like the Green Goblin, like nothing, no, not like a big thing that would like should register in my brain. I was just like, I saw you in that.
Did he hear you?
Nope.
No.
Kept on, or he did, and he just kept on walking. But yeah.
But I feel like people would want to like, they just want to be treated normally, right? Fame is this thing that happens to people, but it's not, the person does not change.
Totally.
And so I'm sure they're just like.
And that's why like, it's so fun to have people on the pod. And you of course have and will, like where you just like get to speak to people who you revere, but like they are excited about sharing the information, you know, like it's like you would be so surprised at how little like gatekeeping there is when it comes to like, tell me your stories. Like I just had Tim Weil on, who was the original music director of Rent.
Yes,
and
right.
Him talking about just like him working with Jonathan Larson. I was like, I'm one person away from that. Like you are the conduit to the creation of Rent, the musical that like so many millions of people loved. And he was just so casual for him because that's been his whole life. But I'm like, tell me everything. Right. And he did because he's the loveliest. But
But it takes those interactions like one at a time to be like, wow, is this real? It's to me, it's what, because I haven't been on Broadway yet too. It's the same thing of like this idea of Broadway and the mysticism of it. But then it's like once you start, your friends start booking and you start seeing your friends in those shows. To me, I've been like, whoa, this thing that feels so far and distant and mystical, and like I imagine it to be, and it's like, well, actually, that kind of the curtain is kind of pulled back in a way.
Absolutely,
you know, and that's, you know, good and bad. I mean, it's like
well, and you get to then bring your own stories. Because I also love when guests ask me questions, like about whatever I've done. I'm like, oh, you care to know? That's so interesting.
Yeah. As I told you, it was important for me in this show. I was like, I want it to be more conversational and more stories and like less sit down and we're interviewing. And like, and someday that, like we talked the other day, like that will be what it is, depending on the guest maybe if that's, but yeah, I'm like I said, still figuring it out. And I'm so grateful to like you who don't know super well
for just
for just being super game to be like, Yeah, but I also kind of trusted you because you had your own
show
and podcast and have gone through this.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
You gotta get like a Groff on the pod or something. Like somebody.
Hey,
Jonathan. Jonathan's the sweetest. He would totally do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I wanna, get my flow, get a little more confident, and
get a little cocktail in you.
Hey, catch that segment soon.
Garçon. I know. I'm like,
we'll see.
Should we go behind the bar?
It's an idea that we've been talking to because it's filmed in Peep, and there's a beautiful bar over here that you might see someday. I can't talk about that, but the thing I can't talk about is just a segment in general of, I'm trying to mix the world of food and beverage since I work down here. Yeah. And like, it's what we do to survive and afford this city.
Totally.
And so it just would be cool to have some type of like, not necessarily day drinking with Seth Meyers.
Oh,
have you seen that segment where they're just doing shots?
Hell yeah. Oh my God, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus of it all. That episode. It's so fucking funny.
I remember the Rihanna one.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the iconic one.
Love
her.
But
yeah, if we make a cocktail and come over here, to me it would feel even more like I'm mixing the worlds of my existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look how cool. Like, it's so beautiful here.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. I also just want to talk a little bit more about Chicago and this experience for you because you did it on the tour.
Yeah.
And they brought you from the tour to swing or under a vacation study Mary Sunshine.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did the non-ec tour.
Oh, okay.
Before COVID. So it was literally, I was on the road with Chicago playing Mary Sunshine when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. So we went on a layoff thinking it would be 2 weeks and it turned into 6 months. Yeah. And then that tour just kind of fell to the wayside for a long time. So then I did a production of my first equity show was Chicago the Musical in Aspen, Colorado.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So I did it regionally. And they got me my card and I'm so grateful to them. And then, so I was already equity when all of a sudden this little ditty came along called Omicron, which was a variant of COVID that like blasted through Broadway. Uh-huh. And so I was on my couch and my agent called me at 9 a.m. and was like, hey, they need an immediate standby replacement. And I was like, okay, awesome. Like 2 weeks, like what, when? And he was like 6 p.m. Like you have to get a COVID test and you have to go to the Ambassador Theater tonight. So it was like a really crazy whirlwind. So I didn't really even have time to like be afraid or like be unprepared. Like I was like, okay, I've done the role. It's the same show that I did on the tour.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and that was December of 2021. And then now it's just been anytime they need me, I'll go in for a couple of weeks or a month at a time. And yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
Well, how has like the curtain, I guess now like this being your first Broadway show and going from kind of like a version of like the non-union Chicago to then like the Broadway version to like how has kind of the curtain been brought down for you, I guess, in terms of being like, oh, this is what Broadway. Was there something that you were like, oh, this is just like,
oh yeah, I mean, there's so much. I mean, it's never lost on me how like special it is, but it's janky. Like, you know, it's like any other like regional theater or like, yeah, I mean,
don't forget that these theaters are old.
And the Ambassador is so small. Okay. Not the house. The house is big and beautiful.
Patrons get
the patrons get to sit and enjoy, but the backstage space is extremely limited at Chicago, and you know, it's not the most money that one could make in terms of being on a Broadway contract. It's not the Disney theatrical of it all, you know, there's not that. And it's been running.
This is public knowledge what the pay is weekly at
Chicago? Yeah,
what is it?
The equity minimums are $2,600 a week.
Yeah.
For a principal. But yeah, so there's lots of things that are not glamorous that one might expect to be more so. But also that's kind of the like cozy part about it.
That is what I would want, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like, okay, and now we're doing it this way.
Yes,
it's like,
exactly.
No, we just do it this way. It's like, not that serious.
I think it's also specifically Chicago because there's no like glitz and glamour to the show. I don't know if you've seen this Broadway production, but there's no set. There's no, everyone except for Roxy and Velma wears one costume the entire time. There's no costume changes. And everyone's just in like fishnets and bras and panties. So like there's nothing really to hide behind. So in a lot of ways, it feels very just like, here it is. And that translates to offstage too, like the offstage culture of it. But it's fun. It's a really cool show to be a part of. I turned 25 the year that they hit their 25th anniversary. So to make my Broadway debut, like while it was in that like celebratory era is crazy. And then like, so cool. I'll be turning 30 with the show when it turns 30, which is crazy. So yeah, it's really cool. But Chicago operates in a different way than a lot of theaters. It's very old school. I would say it's like the way to describe it is like analog. Like it's old school. Okay. It's not like, Boop or like these like hugely automated, updated machines.
Yeah, but also with Chicago and this version of Chicago, they built something that to last.
Totally. Because, but I guess I mean more in terms of like because the art, of course, withstands. Like the show itself is brilliant. But like these bitches, they need new shoes. Where are the new shoes? Why is it taking so long to get these people new shoes? It's because people don't want to pay for new shoes. It's very that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very like, well, why would we update it?
Heard.
That part.
Because you've recouped. They've recouped many years
ago.
Many years ago.
I would say 28 years ago.
Right. So maybe let's get these divas some new shoes.
That part, So it's like in that regard, it can be tricky, because you would think, or I would have thought like, Broadway, I'm going to get my custom shoes. I'm going to get everything. I'm like, girl, I wear my personal LaDucas on Broadway and they live in a box at the Ambassador Theater so that anytime I go back in, they just have my shoes.
Interesting.
So crazy.
Yeah.
My Roxy, or my wig, shout out to Barry Ernst, the wig supervisor at Chicago. He had to pull something really quickly, obviously, because they didn't have a wig for me. My wig from the tour is God knows where, in fucking Poughkeepsie or something, wherever we were. And so he had to pull a Roxy wig. So it's very like, we use what we have. Like there was a wig that fit my head and it just so happened to be Dilys Croman's red Roxy wig. And so that's been my wig.
But that is also theater. And sometimes with theater, it's like the show goes on. We just gotta like,
girl,
like we make it work and
girl,
and go, and you're on, go.
When I tell you, we did a performance I was on, and we did a show where we held the curtain for a half hour and they couldn't figure out how to fix the soundboard. So we did it without mics. We did Chicago the musical. Wah, wah, wah. No microphones. It was crazy. Luckily for me, my song is in the rafters. I'm screaming soprano, so I could sing out over it. Right. But Velma came down the steps on that fucking iconic jazz vamp, and they all did their little, and she said,
yeah.
I guess the show must go on because they're not going to cancel it and refund the money.
I'd be so pissed. Girl. If I was in the audience, I'd be like, hey.
It was so funny too.
Hey, I can't hear you.
I know. We had an interim company manager at the time because our company manager was away for something. And so he came on stage after they'd been held for a half an hour.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're starting the show. And the audience was like, woo. And then he was like, and this is the volume that everyone on stage will be. And you just heard the like, oh no. Yeah. So crazy.
That is crazy. Well, okay. People can find you in Chicago for the whole month of April.
Yes. I think I'm allowed to say it. I'm like, I signed a contract. So yeah. Yes, they can. Otherwise I'm like, I'm in and out of Chicago anyway. So whatever.
Yeah. But find you there. Find you on Oh My Pod, you guys, on Spotify and Apple Pod, all the things.
Yeah. Everywhere.
And then where can people find your like personal Instagram?
Just my name at Jayke Workman, Jayke. Take it up with my mother. I don't know why there's a Y in there. But.
I love it. Well, thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.